Blossom here. So today I'm going to show you my favorite sauce, the Schezwan sauce. This is how I make it. There are many variations to this recipe. So normally what they do is they break the chili and they remove the seeds and then they put it in the hot water. I'm not going to remove the seeds because I want it spicy. That's the whole intention. So if you do not want it to be very spicy or pungent, you just remove the seeds and remove how much ever you can, because when you boil this chilies, the seeds will automatically come out as well. I've got around 250 grams of red chilies. I don't know what variety this is because over here we don't get to know what variety it is. It's just written red chili, dried red chili, so I won't be able to help you in that. As you can see, there are lots of seeds that have already come out of the chilies because I broke them into two, and even when you cook the chilies, it's going to come out. So that's why I don't take the time to remove the chili seeds. The reason why we are now cooking these chilies is because chilies, if you go to taste it, it has a bitter taste, and when you cook it, the bitter taste comes off. You're not going to use this water at all while you're making the sauce or you're grinding the red chilies into a paste, because this water is going to be very bitter. So please discard the water once you boil the chilies. Now these chilies have to continue boiling for maybe, it depends on the stove you're using. So let this cook for 15 minutes and then I'll get back to you. While the red chilies are getting cooked, you have some preparation to do. As you can see, I've got garlic, ginger and celery sticks. Now if you don't have celery sticks, you can always put coriander stems. To tell you the truth, I've tried both and I prefer the celery sticks because it comes out tastier. The amount of ginger that I've chopped is half the quantity of garlic. That's how you make it. This is how I make it. You can make it the way you like it. I've taken 200 grams of garlic and 100 grams of ginger and chopped it fine. I actually put it in the chopper and I've chopped it, and I've kept them separately because I'll be cooking them separately. So don't mix them or chop them together. As you can see, it's just been 2 minutes since I put it in the hot bubbling water. It's already softened. You can cut it. That means it's done. You don't have to cook it for like half an hour. Like I said, these chilies were not very dry. If you can cut the chili like that way, like I showed you, then you can put the stove off, cool it. So that's what I'm going to do now. So once it's cool, just put half of the chilies that we have cooked, and here I have actually tried to drain as much as water as possible by just putting it in a column and pressing it with the spoon, so that all that water comes out. And what normally everyone does is pours more water into the grinder because they want to make it a paste, but instead of that you add oil. Why we are adding oil is, if you cook this paste with water, it's going to splutter all over the place and also it'll take longer to cook. So instead, if you add oil, because anyways you're going to fry it in oil, so pour oil instead of water and make it a paste. So I've ground the chili paste with oil. Now it depends on how much oil you require. I can't tell you how much oil you need exactly because it depends on the amount of water that was still in the chili. So next we're going to grind Schezwan peppers with 1 star anise. If you notice, the Schezwan pepper is broken. It actually has a seed in it, and the one which I purchased doesn't have the seed. If it has the seed, please break it open, remove the seed and then use it. Otherwise it will feel like as if there were stones in your mixture. So what I've done is because I've taken almost 250 grams of chilies, I'm taking 50 grams of this Schezwan pepper, and I ground this with 1 star anise. I've taken a very large pan. The reason is because it's a sauce and it's going to splutter. You'll get burnt, so be very careful. And to this I'm going to add oil. Now normally we would add at least half liter of oil for quarter kilo of chilies. Since I've already used almost 200 ml for when I was grinding the chilies, I'll be adding just 250 ml for now, and if required I'll be adding more later. The oil is hot. First add only the chopped garlic. The pan should not be very hot because the garlic will burn very quickly. Why we are cooking the garlic first is because ginger is brown and we need the garlic also to be brown. If we add both of them, we won't know whether the garlic is brown enough. So that is why I added the garlic first. Fry this on a low heat. Now these black dots, what you can see is just a few Schezwan peppers fell into it, so I just let it be. And this has to get nicely brown. If you don't cook it enough, then the water content will remain, and then in the end your Schezwan sauce will just get spoiled quickly. The point of using so much of oil, it's not just going to be used as a preservative, it's also to fry every ingredient that you put in, remove the water content from it. Now the garlic has browned a little bit. I'm adding the ginger. As soon as you add the ginger, you'll hear the sizzle sound. That means the garlic has, the water content in the garlic is gone. And so that's why when you put something wet, it starts again, sizzling. Now the ginger and the garlic has browned. I'm going to add the ground chili paste. And because I didn't add water while I was grinding it, it's not splattering on me. If I would have added water, it would have been a different story altogether. Stir it well. Now I've stirred the chili paste in, and I'm adding a little more chili powder. It's up to you. At this point, if you want it a little more red or you want it redder, you can always add Kashmiri chili powder, which will give it that red tinge. Stir the chili powder well, and because I didn't add water, this sauce is coming together a lot quicker than I anticipated. I'm going to add around 2 tablespoons of ketchup. I know this might come as a surprise to you, but this is what everyone does and this is how I do it. Some people add pepper at this point. I don't add pepper here. I just add red chili powder. And now I'm going to add the Schezwan pepper and star anise that I had ground. The reason why I'm adding this is, it's a very spicy dish. So by adding this, it's like a coolant to your stomach. So if you don't want to add it, there's no need to. But as I said, it's very pungent, so if you can get it, it's good. Or if you don't get this powder, the alternative is, if you know, I've made an aromatic powder and it's posted in my channel. You can even add that powder in this at this point. That too tastes really good. I'm going to add the celery that was chopped. I didn't add this earlier because this gets cooked very fast. The rest of the ingredients don't. So that's the reason why I added it now. After you adding the celery, you have to cook it for another 10 minutes. As you can see, as soon as I put the celery, all the oil that was floating on the surface of the sauce disappeared. So you'll know when it's done when the oil starts resurfacing. Till then, you have to continue cooking it. And please don't forget to stir it. Cook it between high and medium flame. When you feel it's getting hot, reduce the heat. And when you feel the stove has become colder, increase the heat. So you have to play with the heat over here. Now I feel it has become a little colder, so I'm going to increase the heat and I'll stir. Please do not leave it and go away, because if you do, then it might get burnt. Now add salt to it. You can add salt even before this. I did add salt when I was frying the ginger and garlic. I forgot to show you all that. I'm adding just a spoonful of sugar to balance the taste. And lastly, I'm adding the preservative, which is vinegar. Around 1/4 cup of vinegar. Cook it for another 2 to 3 minutes till you see the oil floating to the surface. If you've noticed, the color of the sauce is already darkened. That shows that it's already done. If you add vinegar before it, it'll just evaporate, and once it's fully cooked, I'll show you the end result. So the sauce is ready. If you do try this recipe, please do let me know in the comments below how you liked it. And until next time, bye.